Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Your Excellencies, honorable members, distinguished guests, I will seek with already established protocol, and I will, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, start by joining in congratulating the National Assembly and the bureaucracy of the National Assembly, particularly the leadership of the House of Representatives, for sustaining these important initiatives of the Open Week. An Open Week should be an affirmation that democracy flourishes, and that the legislature is open, accountable, and responsible to the people that it serves. As the National Assembly marks 3 years in office, that is the 10th National Assembly, it is appropriate to reflect on both its achievements and the work that remains unfinished. The Assembly has demonstrated commitments in several important areas, including the ongoing constitutional review process, efforts to modernize legislative procedures, consideration of key electoral and governance reforms, increased use of digital platforms, and greater engagement with citizens and civil society. It has also shown resilience in responding to emerging national challenges and has maintained a generally stable legislative environment. At the same time, citizens expect, rightly so, from the legislature, much more. They expect stronger and more independent oversight of the executive, more timely consideration of critical national issues, greater transparency in legislative business, broader public participation in the work of the National Assembly do, particularly lawmaking and reforms that directly improve governance, security, economic opportunity, and social justice. The legislature that is strongest, not when it agrees with the executive, but when it faithfully discharges its constitutional duty to scrutinize executive actions, protect public resources, and ensure that government remains accountable to the people. The jury is out there as to how this 10th National Assembly has performed. But certainly across the country, there is great worry about the situation of the citizen as we speak today. Poverty levels are higher, government response is questionable, and it's a question really how much this National Assembly has done to help citizens to live a better life in society. As the 10th National Assembly enters the final phase of its tenure, there remains significant opportunity for it to consolidate its legacy. Priority should be given to concluding the constitutional amendment process in a manner that reflects broad national consensus, particularly ensuring the passage of critical bills, and one of those critical bills is the special seats bill for women, or special seats for women bill. Certainly, legal framework for credible elections is still an issue. Advancing reforms that deepen inclusion, including greater representation of women and other historically underrepresented groups, improving transparency in legislative operations, and ensuring that oversight functions are rigorous, evidence-based, and focused on measurable outcomes for citizens. For more than 15 years, SLAC has worked alongside the National Assembly in pursuit of these very objectives. We have supported institutional strengthening through technical assistance to committees, research and policy analysis, legislative drafting support, orientation programs for administrators and staff, capacity building initiatives, public hearings, and the development of digital tools that improve access to legislative information. Through our Bills Track platform, SLAC has done quite a lot, including the SLAC Bills Track platform, the legislative repository, policy briefs, scorecards, and publications. We have sought to make the National Assembly more accessible to citizens and strengthen more access for citizens to evidence-based lawmaking. We have also worked extensively with other civil society organizations, the media and development partners to promote informed citizen engagement in legislative processes. Our support has always been guided by one principle: a legislature that is strong and strengthens our democracy. Because without democracy, this country reverts to non-democracy, to dictatorship. We would like to see a National Assembly that is stronger, that holds the executive branch in a very strong manner. It looks at this time that this is not exactly what is, and citizens are very, very concerned about what appears to be some drift in society, particularly protection of our democracy. Nigeria's democratic reform or future will depend in no small measure on the effectiveness of the National Assembly in carrying out its responsibilities, as I have indicated. Where oversight is weak, corruption flourishes. Where representation is diminished, public trust declines. I must say that public trust is declining very fast as we speak. But when the legislature performs its constitutional functions with courage, independence, and integrity, democracy is strengthened and citizens' confidence in government grows. As we look ahead, FLAC reaffirms its commitment to continue partnering with the National Assembly in promoting legislative activities and work, participation, and democratic accountability. We believe that the National Assembly is inseparable from the success of our democracy, and it is so very important that we continue to support the National Assembly to deliver on citizens' expectations of it. I would like to thank, and I do have the High Commissioner of the British High Commission, who is here, Dr. Richard Montgomery. I do see the Ambassador of the European Union, and several other development partners who have worked with FLAC to support the work that we are doing in the Assembly. I would like to thank them. Finally, I do congratulate the leadership of the National Assembly for convening this open week and encourage all stakeholders to continue working together to build a legislature that is transparent, inclusive, accountable, and fairly anchored in the service of the Nigerian people. Thank you so much.
Ombudsman Radio. Justice for all.